Hey YouTube, we have part 3 of my Amazing Spider-Man collection. This is going to be a pretty long one. As you see this stack here, this will be covering issues 200 through 299, and this is a pretty big one. This is one of the biggest sets I have for 100 issue sets. Like the biggest that I have towards the end, but this is still pretty big. This will be a long video, so buckle up and get ready. We have issue 200. That's the anniversary spectaculars. What they have on the cover. It's the reappearance of the burglar that killed Uncle Ben, and he ends up dying in the end of the issue. And I'm gonna try going through all the issues. The last video seemed a little bit rushed, and I just feel like I'm cheating you guys by just showing you all the key issues, not showing you the ones that came in between. We've got issue 202, a good Punisher appearance. 203, we have a appearance of the Dazzler. Not that big a fan of the Dazzler, but that's beside the point. You got 204, Black Cat appearance. 205, even more Black Cat. Issue 206, Peter Parker Goes Wild. Looking back at some of these, it's been a while since I've read these. You got issue 207, a really cool cover. Issue 208. Issue 209. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first appearance of Calypso. If I'm mistaken, please let me know. Issue 210, first appearance of Madam Web, and those of you who know the story of Spider-Man, and I'll explain it more later as we go along through the issues, Madam Web is very key to current stuff in Amazing Spider-Man and just through the whole series itself. Issue 211, Submariner appearance, followed up. Well, never mind. Issue 212 goes to first appearance of Hydra Man. #213, we have a Wizard appearance. Here's what I was thinking about with the Submariner. Issue 214, another Submariner appearance with the Frightful Four, where it's followed up at issue 215 with the Submariner. If I'm not mistaken, issue 217, this is the issue where Hydra Man and Sandman collide and become Mudman shortly, which is followed up in issue 218. Issue 220, a really cool Moon Knight, and with Spider-Man in the Coffin. I'm a huge fan of Moon Knight, the early stuff, not as much as the new stuff. Issue 221, this was actually one of the very first comic books that I got when I started collecting. I decided to stick with the original copy just for the memory reasons. I did get a better copy, but I thought, why switch it out when this is one of the first ones that I ever got, and birthed the fandom of Spider-Man in me. Just a little bit of story before we move on. That's how I started. Was the guy who got me into comic books brought some by. He brought the Death of Gwen Stacy graphic novel and a Batman graphic novel. And reading those, I kind of just birthed the fandom within me for Spider-Man. And from there, I found a guy selling Spider-Man comics and just started buying them from there. Issue 223, Red Ghost appearance, and the Super Apes. Those weird storylines. Another Black Cat appearance, issue 226. And followed up issue 227, more Black Cat. This poor little thing here, issue 28, I need to get a replacement of. You'll see a few of these here and there, more just in the 200s and between issue 100 and like 250 or something like that. You'll see a few of these that are missing covers or just missing a huge chunk of the cover that I got just to fill space and stuff. There's issue 233, Tarantula appearance. Issue 234, Will-O-The-Wisp appearance. Let me fix this in the box. Okay, we got 235, where the tarantula was mutated. Kind of a retarded storyline. And then we got 236, continuation of that. 237, we've got the broken cover, really cool issue with Stiltman, which has hardly any fan base whatsoever. We have issue 238, which kind of changes comics beyond Amazing Spider-Man 121 kind of is the mold that changed comics forever. But issue 238 kind of changed it for the darker, in the sense of this being the first appearance of the Hobgoblin. And that's followed up in 239. You got issue 240. You got a Vulture appearance, followed up in 241. Issue 242. Issue 243. Another one of those options or choices covers that they always have in those days. Issue 244. And the reason why I show you guys all these, like, you have people that just show you the key issues, kind of cheats you out if you're getting into Spider-Man stuff and just wanting to see the covers of all the Spider-Man comics. I try to show you everything so that you guys know what's going on in those times, not just with the key issues. We have 245, the apparent unmasking of the Hobgoblin, one of many. Issue 246. I believe that this is what the art in this was done by John Romita Jr., awesome artist for Spider-Man. You got 247. I think it was Thunderball appearance, or I think that's his name. This is a pretty good storyline. The kid who collects Spider-Man. Kind of, some people know it, some don't. I think it's a pretty big storyline just because it goes away from just Spider-Man doing stuff to going to the story about this kid who has been collecting Spider-Man pretty much since Spider-Man started, and who later he finds out is at a terminal hospital. But he's brought back later in issue 700, actually, and they kind of look back at him, but there's more at that when we get to issue 700. 249, a really cool cover where you've got Wilson Fisk standing over the Hobgoblin, standing over a broken Spider-Man. Issue 250, a really awesome Hobgoblin issue. Just really awesome cover. I know I say that a lot, but Amazing Spider-Man has had amazing covers for their comic books. Another Hobgoblin appearance. These issues in the 200s were really big for Hobgoblin, and then later on for the Black Suit, which you'll see the first appearance was actually in the Secret Wars issue number 8, but in this we have issue 252, the first appearance of the Black Suit in Amazing Spider-Man. $253, Rose appearance. I'm not sure if it's his first appearance. $254, really cool Black Suit cover. I really like the Black Suit. Not as much just for the darkness of it, just the look of it. Puma appearance. 257, Puma beating the snot out of Spider-Man. Got issue 258, kind of where you finally discover how controlling the Black Suit is, and everything changing from then on. Issue 259, a really cool cover where just Spider-Man's suiting up in the middle of the cover and everything. Got Hobgoblin on the cover. 260, another Hobgoblin appearance. 261, this was done by Charles Vess, who's actually a local in my area, and I didn't even know this until recently, and I was a big fan of his art and everything, and finally found out that he actually lives and works like within 20 miles of where I live, which is really cool. Hopefully I'll get to meet him sometime, because I mean his art is awesome. Look him up. He's done a lot of comic books and stuff. He did the graphic novel Ends of the Earth, not Ends of the Earth, gosh, what is the name of the graphic novel? It was the graphic novel where Spider-Man goes to Scotland. Okay, we got issue 262. I really like this issue because it's a photograph issue more than an art issue. Okay. Issue 263. This kid here, some people didn't like him and everything. Not too big of an issue. But if you look later on in the Spider-Girl comics, they kind of tie him into where he becomes the Silver Spider, or Steel Spider is the name. Huge fan of the Spider-Girl series. Got 264. $265. These comics keep sliding. The only downside to bags and boards is that the comics like to slide. Got issue 266. Stupid frog. And then you got the Toad. In one issue. All in the same issue. Nothing great at all. Issue 267. $268, really cool motion cover with the Black Suit, where it was the Beyonder that turned the building to gold, and a whole interesting story with that. Kind of open for Secret Wars #2. Fire Lord appearance. I believe it's his first appearance, if I'm not mistaken. Might not be. So don't quote me on that. But that's issue 269. Here's 270, where Spider-Man's beating the snot out of Fire-Lord, and the Avengers are telling him to stop, but he's still doing it. Issue 271. Yet another cover where Spider-Man's staying down on the ground, broken. That's a theme you'll pretty much see with Spider-Man comics in this era, is that there's always a broken Spider-Man. Like this one right here. Issue 272. 273. Beyonder on the cover. Here's a really cool issue, 274. No ads, nothing but comics. Beyonder battles Mephisto, but I really like the cover of this. I know I say that a lot about a lot of covers, but you've got Jean DeWolf, Gwen Stacy, pretty much everyone that's either dead or has been in danger since the whole Spider-Man epic began. Sliding comics. We got 276. Or 275, I'm sorry. And we got Return of the Hobgoblin. More of the origin of Spider-Man. My battery's getting low. Okay. This is 276, where the Hobgoblin is unmasked, per se. And it ends up being Flash Thompson, I believe, under the mask. 277, an interesting team-up issue. Let's get moving. Okay. We've got 278. I like this. I believe this is another Charles Vess cover. I don't see the markings on the cover, so I don't know. Might even be a Tom Lyle. 279. Got Jack-O-Lantern and Silver Sable on the cover. It's the Where Is Spider-Man arc. We got 280. Another Silver Sable. Really cool Rhino right there. I've always liked the Rhino. A lot of people think the Rhino's just stupid, but if you go through this series, he's really defined in the later issues and becomes such a great character. We got issue 281. Let's get moving so we don't make the video too long for you guys. Issue 282, one of those cool things for the anniversary of Marvel, I believe, that they had the wraparound where all these heroes wrapping around. Yeah, the 25th anniversary, wrapping around the cover. That's what Marvel always did great with their anniversaries. They always incorporated awesome stuff with their covers. You've got Amazing Spider-Man with Absorbing Man and Titania. This is the start of the gang war, where just pretty much all the gangs involved with Spider-Man go to war, and Spider-Man's caught in the middle. Awesome Punisher holding a freaking large bazooka. Gang War Part 3. Good Rose appearance on the cover. 287. One of the greatest team-ups of all time, Spider-Man and Daredevil. I'm a huge fan of Daredevil, and he's just drawn really awesome on this cover. 288, Gang War Part 5, the conclusion. 289, I can't remember if the Hobgoblin is actually really revealed in this issue. It's been a while since I've read it. I might have to look it up and check it out. 290, this is the issue where Peter Parker pops the question to Mary Jane and proposes. Got an awesome kind of shadowed black suit behind her. Amazing Spider-Man 291. Got yet another Spider Slayer appearance. So many Spider Slayers, so few issues. Issue 292, another Spider Slayer issue. This one, though, is a good issue because this is where Mary Jane finally accepts the proposal to marry Peter Parker. 293, one of the greatest story arcs of this era for Spider-Man until the Venom arcs start, with the Kraven's Last Hunt series. And this, if you read anything from Spider-Man, it would be this. I don't recommend it for younger audiences because it is violent, especially in this issue, I believe. Because in this issue, Kraven actually takes his life, so it's not recommended for younger audiences, but those who love a wonderful story definitely go for the Kraven's Last Hunt. You can find it in graphic novels and everything. Okay, we've got issue 295. Really interesting cover. Issue 296, where you find out that Doc Ock actually has arachnophobia, which is the fear of spiders. And this is kind of portrayed in this really cool art on the cover. This is where art kind of changes around this era for Spider-Man. It's a couple issues before the McFarlane era, which is one of my favorite eras for Spider-Man. Last issue before McFarlane, where Spider-Man fakes a defeat by Doc Ock to get over his fear of spiders or something like that. Been a while since I've read it. 298, the first issue where we have Todd McFarlane drawing with this awesome art. Just ridiculous. He ended up later being co-founder of Image Comics and creator of Spawn. Issue 299, this is the first appearance, or first cameo, you could say, of Venom within the issues. I think there might have been a little bit in 298 where you see a little bit of Venom, which kind of shadowed Mary Jane's style. But that is it for this episode. That has been part 3. We are 299 issues in. And like I've said before, leave a comment, a like, go ahead and subscribe, tell your friends about me, and that's pretty much it. I will see you guys later.